Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about money creation versus gold and silver production. And it's quite interesting. I found this article here and it has a lot of great visuals, graphs, and charts and things like that. And if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, I do stack primarily as that hedge against inflation and as a physical savings account as well. But living up in Canada, I do have some cash stacked away as well, just because unfortunately we do still live in a world where cash is king. It's still used for a lot of things, and it doesn't really make a lot of financial sense to throw every last dollar you have into silver. When you have like car payments and bill payments coming up in a month, and you just need to have cash for that stuff. It doesn't make sense, continuing to trade your silver because, there's premiums involved in that. So if you were to just take all of your money and throw it into silver, you'd be down, quite a bit. And if you had to sell right away, you're basically just flushing money down the toilet. So it's always a good idea to put some money into silver and gold. What you can afford to put into silver and gold, put in there. But you always got to make sure you leave enough cash and things like that to take care of day-to-day stuff, so that you don't need to go into your silver and gold and sell that for a deficit. So yeah, for me, I live up in Canada, so I always like to have a little bit of a cash stack on hand, just because the winters get pretty bad up here and we can get some snow and ice storms that last weeks with some outages and stuff like that. So you can't just run to the ATM and get some cash out for, gas for a generator or something like that. So for me, it does make sense to have some cash stacked away. And yes, for me, I'm a visual learner, so that's why I like this article here. Did a pretty good job showing with some charts and graphs and things like that the vast difference between the production of the production of gold and silver and the printing of fiat currency. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump onto the computer and show you this article. Okay, so this is the article here. It's on goldsilver.com, and the article is the Fiat Free-for-All, Currency Creation versus Gold and Silver Production. So getting into it here, it says most headlines about the Fed's Open Market Committee announcement focused on the potential change in interest rates. What went largely ignored was that it will continue to purchase $120 billion in bonds every month. So it says the central bank said it might raise rates in 2023, but there's no hesitation to continue full steam ahead with its aggressive bond buying program. So it's pretty funny that most people are focusing on something that might happen in the future instead of the continued 120 billion that's just being created out of nowhere every month. And just going down here into currency creation versus gold and silver production. So how does the Fed's 120 billion per month compare to the value of gold and silver production? We asked this because gold and silver can't be created out of thin air and are in limited supply. This is one reason gold or silver bimetallic standards have been used in the past. They impose discipline because a country can't spend more than the dollar and or silver it produces. So yeah, that is why I'm stacking gold and silver, is as that hedge against inflation. And they went off the gold standard there, like the fiat cash, the paper money isn't backed by anything. They went off the gold standard, I believe, back in 1971. And since then they've just been producing as much money as they want, creating it out of thin air, and you can see you're just losing purchasing power over time. It'll get to that visually in this article in a second, getting down to how much spending power and how much wealth preservation you're losing by not having some silver and gold at least. But going down here, getting into the chart finally down here, it says U.S. currency creation versus global gold and silver production. So on the side there, you see that these numbers are in billions of dollars. And where is it here? Creation here, the currency creation, is 120 billion per month. And then down here, gold production is 14.2 billion per month. And then 1.58 silver production. So you can see that little sliver of silver each month that's produced, a little bit more gold. It's obviously going to be a huge chunk of currency that's created because it takes so much less effort to make this stuff. You know what I mean? It's a couple of clicks of a mouse away to get this money created. But with the gold production, you got to mine it, you got to refine it. As I said, with silver, not all of it's not the vast majority of it doesn't go to the beautiful coins and bars that I showed you in the intro, or that you see people stacking. The majority of that stuff goes to industry. So you can see that there's a lot of different things that go into the gold production and silver production, and with the currency creation, it's not that deep. There's not that much that's going into it. All that's coming out of it is just more cash. With gold and silver, there's a lot of things that it's used for. And then going down here, I'm sure, because I thought of this as well, because I just started stacking in 2020, and I was thinking, with all the stuff that was going on in 2020, stuff needed to be closed down. Obviously there's a lot of mining needed to be closed down and everything like that. So it's just going to go through clarifying here. It says, so going down here, it says, some of you may point out that the 2020 mine production was an anomaly due to the stuff that was happening last year. It did decline, but gold production was already in a downward trend. Mine capacity, how much new production is scheduled to come online each year, is just 744,000 ounces for 2021, the lowest since 2011. And almost every report I read says that the trend will continue for at least the next several years. And it says ditto for silver. New mine supply has been in declining trend since 2016 and is now at the lowest level since 2012. Another thing with silver production is the highest percentage of silver that's mined is as a byproduct of other metals and other things being mined. So, and going down here, it says how value is something you can create with a keystroke. And it says, we also have to consider the time and effort it takes to produce gold and silver. The Fed and most central bankers today create new currency with a computer mouse, point, click, and voila. But producing real money takes a full decade, from exploration and discovery to development, production, and distribution. And it says time to create currency versus gold and silver bullion. And then going down here, currency 10 seconds, maybe even quicker. And then they have down here gold and silver production and time in hours. So it's going with the 10 years there. So yes, I guess it does take that long to discover a new vein of gold or silver or whatever it is, and then you gotta as they said up here, where is it, they have to the exploration, discovery to develop, production, and distribution. But going down, he says, but how valuable is something that can be created in literally seconds with little effort? There is one reason a gold standard can work. It takes real work and lots of time to bring gold to market, which limits the amount of spending politicians can do, which is why they'll fight if it is ever introduced again. And I said before, Alex Mooney is a representative from West Virginia, or congressman from West Virginia, and he's pushing for a full audit of the U.S. gold reserves and things like that. I'd be very surprised if that got anywhere. Unfortunately, Congressman Mooney, I don't think he'll be in many rooms with a lot of people that share his same enthusiasm or share his same mindset that the reserves should be audited. So I'll believe that when I see it. But the bankers and politicians are definitely in no rush to change the system that they're benefiting from, and it's going to be no surprise who's left holding the bag when another crisis happens. And then going down here, it says today's paycheck will never buy you more than right now. So that's a sober thought to realize, but this fact, the dollar you earn today will never buy you more than it will right now. The cash in your next paycheck will only lose more and more purchasing power as you move forward in life. Here's how much buying power the dollar you earned in 2000 has lost. So that's the losing the purchasing power with the inflation and the constant just piling more cash into the money supply. You're seeing it's devaluing the currency, and you can see here the purchasing power from 2000 to today. $1 in 2000 is now 63 cents of 2021 money. It says down here, gold and silver, on the other hand, are long-term stores of value. They maintain purchasing power, and over the past 21 plus years have increased one's buying power. So going down here, so gold purchasing power from 2000 to today is at 281.5 to 1,102. And yes, like I said before, I do like having this as a physical savings account as well. And some people ask, what am I going to do with it if all you're going to do is convert it into fiat currency down the road? It's kind of defeating the purpose. But if I have a nice big stack down the road, and spot price has jumped up a bit in 10-20 years, and I've happened to make a nice little profit off of my stack, I would sell it, but as not for the fiat currency. I would sell it for another tangible hard asset, most likely property. I maybe be looking at paying off a mortgage, or picking up a cottage or something like that. But yeah, having your purchasing power and your wealth preservation in gold and silver will help you down the line. And then going down here, it says silver has improved one's buying power as well, despite not having risen as much as gold during this period. So it shows from 2000 to today. Back in 2000, it would have been $5.30, and today it's $16.38. So not as big as gold, obviously there, but it has moved up as well. It says after adjusting for inflation, silver purchasing power has grown 209% over the past 21 years, while the dollar has robbed 37% of your buying power. Given that silver has historically always outperformed gold in bull markets, it would be entirely unsurprising if the purchasing power exceeds that of gold over the next year. So it says, given that silver has historically always outperformed gold in bull markets, it would be entirely unsurprising if its purchasing power exceeded that of gold's over the next few years. If your savings account is denominated in cash, you have a serious long-term leak in your boat. But if your savings is denominated in real money, gold and silver, you're not only preserving your buying power, but growing it. So yes, I agree. Don't put your faith in the fiat free for all. Instead, put your financial future in the hands of real money. And I agree with 100%. Your financial future is better kept and preserved with gold and silver, but your financial present still unfortunately involves cash. So like I said in the beginning there, you can't just throw all of your money into the metals in today's day and age still, because the money is still relevant. And that could change in the future, with another collapse or the reset people are talking about. Who knows what fiat currency is going to be in 10 years. But as of right now, it's a great idea to start doing both, to have a nice stack going of silver and gold for your long-term play as that hedge and your a form of physical savings. But as I said, also you're going to need to have some cash as well, just because that's the world we're living in. So yeah, that's the article. Like always, I will leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and read through the whole thing. Skipped over a fair bit. I did want to get down primarily into the little charts and graphs that they showed there. So I did kind of skim over some of the paragraphs. But like I said, I will leave a link in the description if you do want to go through and read the whole thing. So yeah, that's it. That's the article there. If you've been stacking for any amount of time, you do know all about the benefits of stacking as that wealth preservation and things like that. But I thought it was just pretty interesting just to see how much per month they're still going to be pumping out this money. It's like 120 billion every month. They're just going to be adding, and that's insane. So for me, like I keep saying, I do want to have some cash off to the side, but I'm going to be looking and redoing my budget just so I can sliver off as much out of that fiat, setting that fiat off to the side and trying to get more and more into gold and silver. Like I said, I don't want to overextend myself, but if I can look at my budget and maybe get an extra $100 every 2 weeks, that's something. That's just that's less money that's going to need to sit there and just be inflated into hell. So yeah, unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't think this is going to stop anytime soon. The people that are benefiting from this, or at least running the system the way it is, they still have that thing in their back pocket with the old back in 2018 or back in 2008 with the whole too big to fail stuff. They have that in their back pocket and they think, oh, that'll bail us out. We can just be reckless with everything here and just get a government bailout at the end and just leave other people holding the bag. So yeah, unfortunately, just like most things you read in the news or hear in the news, it's all gloom and doom. But there are ways to protect yourself, and that is with buying some physical precious metals, whether it be gold or silver, and having at least part of your money or part of your wealth in there to make sure that it's acting as that hedge. But things are going to get crazy in the next couple of years, especially we see the rate that they're going to continue to just add currency into existence. Who's to say that they're just going to stop there? They might increase it. Who knows? So it'll be interesting to see. And I haven't been stacking for the longest time, but I'm definitely happy that I did eventually get into it. I keep saying I feel like the last horse crossing the finish line with this stacking stuff, but it's better to do it now than never. So I am very happy I started my stack. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, how long you guys have been stacking, and if you plan on changing up the way you've been picking up silver or gold, or the way that you've been putting away some fiat currency. I'd like to hear from you guys. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.